Hi guys, okay, welcome back to this channel. Of course, here is where you get the best of gist when it comes to filmmaking, creativity, and of course how you can monetize your talent and all of that. So today I'll be sharing with you funding opportunities in filmmaking, and particularly in Nollywood. I want to share with you how or processes that you can get funding for your film, because funding as it is one of the major problems of almost every filmmaker. There's nobody in the industry that will tell you that he or she has enough funds, because I mean, if you make a 10,000 project today, tomorrow you want to make a 1 million, next tomorrow you want to make 100 million, and it goes on and on and on and on. So funding is never enough. So I want to share with you 4 major ways that you can attract funding to your project. And I'm not going to be talking about grant. Yes, I know that grant is a funding opportunity, but it doesn't always come all the time. Grant can come from different organizations that are interested in making particular kind of movies and all of that. But if you really want to make film and then see film as a business, there are 4 major ways that you can attract funding, and that has worked for me and a few other persons that I know in the industry, and I'll be sharing that with you today. Just before I go on, I would like you to please take a moment and subscribe to this channel, because you get the best of education when it comes to filmmaking and all whatnot right here. All right, and then turn on the notification button so that you know when I drop the next video, because I do that every other week. All right, so let's jump right into it. The very first one I advise, and probably the best one, is partnership. Yes, I said it, partnership. You see, there are many ways that you can, that like the popular saying that there are many ways to kill a rat. One of the ways that you can actually attract funding for your project is partnership. Now, whether you're talking about funding as in terms of cash or funding as in terms of kind. All right, okay, take an example from this. There's a project I'm currently developing, and I spoke to different writers. In fact, I posted it on different writers' platform and told them I have this great idea that I want to develop and I want writers on board. Now, ordinarily, if I'm going to hire one writer to do that project, it's going to cost me a lot of money. And then I needed like more than one writer. I needed like up to 3 writers to be on that project. And I know I can't pay those 3 writers. So what did I do? I brought them in and told them how the project is going to go, and they got excited, and I told them, okay, this is the percentage you can take from this project at the end of the day when it comes out. And they all got excited and they want to be on the project, and they got on the project, and currently we're developing the project. Now, I'm not getting that for free, but I've given them percentage. I've given them certain amount, certain percentage in view that if this project comes out, this is what you're going to take. Now, that is a form of partnership. Now, I intend to do that also with the cast. I intend to do that with a lot of people, the crew members and all of that. And then maybe the little physical cash I may have, I may channel it towards maybe welfare, maybe providing food, providing certain things that are going to be needed on set. But what have I done? I've been able to leverage on partnership. Some of that time, partnership can come in form of cash. You can meet up some people that want to come into partnership with you, and they say, okay, I'm going to put this money to partner with you, you bring this. Like one of my movies, So Far Away, that I did, a one-man cast film, I met a young man who is also a record label owner, and I told him, look at my ideas and I want us to, do this. And we talked about how much is going to be the budget. I told him the budget, and he said, okay, I'm going to bring 60%, you bring 40%. At the end of the day, I'm going to take 60% profit and you take 40% profit. And this thing will help you, because at the end of the day, you're not spending your money all by yourself. In fact, one of the greatest mistakes that most filmmakers in Africa make, and especially in Nollywood, is that just like every other entrepreneur, they want to be the CEO, they want to be the owner and sole owner of the right to the content. And so they don't like to spread their tentacles, they don't like to partner, they don't like to get people to come on board so that they can at least share the profit and at the same time, share the burden of the project. So if you are looking to make a film, whether it be short film, feature film, documentary, any kind of film you want to make, and you don't have the money to do that, you can actually leverage on partnership, either partnership in terms of cash or partnership in terms of kind. And like I said, as long as you have goodwill, you can always attract that. Number 2 is sponsorship. All right, and this is like I'm giving you this thing in order of priority for me. My number 1 is partnership. My number 2 is sponsorship. All right, so what is exactly sponsorship? Sponsorship has to do with product placements. I don't know if you have watched the movie by Anti-Hill Studios, Elevator Baby. If you have seen it, you will notice when in the elevator, a lady character ran into the elevator with a bottle of Coke, and then there was 1 or 2 lines of exchange, and they took and the lady later poured the drink on the guy's body and all of that. Okay, what I'm trying to point out is That is partnership. That is sponsorship rather, not partnership, sponsorship. Product sponsorship. People can give you money so that that's called product placement. You don't necessarily need to have, let's say, a break in transmission and run their ads. No, you can imbue their product into your film, and that will fetch you a couple of money, and that will help you also to subsidize your cost of production. I don't know whether you have also seen Kula Afolayan's film where in the bush, I'm talking about Figurine, in the bush, where Kula Afolayan, which is playing one of the characters, took a bottle of an energy drink and gave to Ramsey Noah in that same scene and told him that this will help your energy and all of that. That was an advert for that energy drink. Now, and it happens Omonoboli also did that with UBA Bank and a couple of them. So these products, what do? They help you to subsidize your budget for production. So what you do is that you imbue some of areas in your script, you imbue some scenarios, some circumstances, all right, that some products can actually come in and sponsor. In that same project I use as an example in my very first point, that is the current script that we're developing. I've also created places where products can actually come in and they can be part of the sponsors of the project, all right? So what you can do is that as you are writing your script, as you are doing your pre-production, and you have intention of getting some big companies to sponsor your product, from the script you need to work in such a way that it's going to attract companies to place their products, because you have created a scenario that these companies can actually place their products in your film, and they will give you a couple of money, a couple of maybe millions or maybe hundreds of thousands or whatever that you agree with the person. So it is one of the major ways that you can get money or you can get funding for your project, all right? So the first one is partnership, and the second one is sponsorship. Majorly what they call it is ad placement, all right? You place an ad within your film, and that will actually attract money for you. If you haven't been doing that, it is time you start considering, because it's one of the ways that even Hollywood themselves, raise some funds for their projects. I'm not talking about the big studios who can take care of their even the big studios, yes. Because if you have watched Fast and Furious, it was actually sponsored by a motor company. And you can imagine the amount of money that was spent on Fast and Furious, and they were using it to advertise cars, and those car companies were paying lots of money for it. So if you want to explore that alternative form of funding, maybe you can give it a try. And then my number 3 is investment. Remember I said I'm giving you this thing in order of priority. For me, you can decide to alternate it. The first one being partnership, the second one being sponsorship, and then the third one being investment. Now, investment is where maybe individuals or companies come in and say, okay, I'm going to sponsor this film. How much is your budget? My budget is 50M, my budget is 100M. Okay, they say, okay, fine, I'm going to give you 50M, I'm going to give you 100M. How long will it take you to get back my money and the profit that we're going to agree? So it's more like giving you a loan. All right, it's more like giving you loan for your product. Banks can also do that. You can also take loan from the bank. All right, but for me, that's like one of the very last options. Like, if you cannot get partnership and you cannot get sponsorship, and you truly believe in the project and you think that film is going to pay you back, then you can explore investment. All right, banks can put their credit on it, can give you credit facility if you actually merit for credit facilities. Individuals can do that too. But like I said, please make sure you explore partnership before and then sponsorship before you go into investment, because one thing about film is sometimes you may think that the audience are going to like your film and it's going to be a blockbuster, but you never can tell. You can finish and then you go to the theater, and then maybe at the end of the day it doesn't even have a good run. Maybe the big companies were expecting that they're going to buy like Netflix and co, sees one fault or the other and refuses to buy. So film is not something that you can say this must give you the money. Of course, there are some films that you make and you are very confident about it, but like I said, it is not every film that you make that the audience are going to like. I hope you know that. So sometimes the audience will also have to drive the sale. So when they come to the theater, that's cinema, for the first week, and they don't like it, the words will go out that this movie is bullshit, and then at the end of the day you won't see the money anymore. Once something like just happened and It's all about the risk of the business. So before you go in to get loan or you get people to put money in their project with the aim of them getting the money back, make sure that you have the confidence that your product or the film that you want to produce can actually get back that money. Otherwise, you might just be running into bigger problems. So my number 3 is actually investment. When all other first 2 options fail, maybe you can explore investment. Okay, my number 4 is the government. But before I explain what I mean by the government, please, if you have not subscribed, take time to subscribe. If this information I'm giving is nice to you, please take time to subscribe and hit the notification button so that you get to know when I drop the next video. Okay, so let's go straight into it. Government. In Nigeria, for instance, we have a lot of government will say they provided loans here and there, soft loans, grants, and all of that. CBN has some funding they have also created for the creative industry, and you can exploit. There is a lot of single-digit loan availabilities in commercial banks, sponsored by Bank of Industries and all of that. There are a lot of that kind of options. Sometimes government, even in your state, you might also explore. Your state might have 1 or 2 budgets that are made available for filmmaking of the creative industry or the tourism sector as in general, and you can actually explore it through either the tourism ministry or some other places. What is important is, we as filmmakers, sometimes we think we're just creatives and we exist out of the society. That's not right. You need to be actively involved in the government of your city, because that's how you get to know what the government is doing at every point in time. I remember when Goodluck Jonathan was president, he brought about this project, funding project called Project Act, and then a lot of people got funding from that Project Act. Some people got funding for training, some people got funding for production of films, some people got funding for distribution, and right now we have long-term loans that CBN is also providing for filmmaking, for different kinds of creative industry. So read through it, find out. The government may just have something that you don't even know about it. And one thing, they say information is key, information is power. Sometimes you don't even know that this exists, and you are struggling, you're looking for money to for funding to make your film. Meanwhile, there is funding available. I'm not saying that government is always doing things. That's why I kept them as the fourth. Like I said, it's in order of my priority. It's when if I don't get partnership, I don't get sponsorships, I don't get investment, and I can consider what the government is doing, because most often than not, the government isn't doing much. All right, so, and I don't have to depend on the government to do the things I need to do. So that should be like your last option. In my own priority list, is like my last option. So when you get there and you have explored the first 3 and you can't make anything out of it, then you can consider the last one. All right, so I hope you've been able to get 1 or 2 things at least that will help you. What other things do you think I should discuss in this segment of my program? Please, like I always say, drop a comment for me, leave a comment for me, so that I will know exactly what you want me to talk next. Because as long as it has to do with the creative industry in Nigeria, Africa, and the world as a whole, as long as it has to do with how you can monetize your talent, as long as it has to do with scripting, from pre-production, actually acting, directing, production, management, whatever thing that has to do with filmmaking, however it has to do with creativity, writing, whatever thing, and you want me to talk about it, please let me know in the comment section. I will make a video about it, and all I try to do is, with my many years of experiences in the industry as a whole, and in and outside the country, I try to be as sincere as possible, as open as possible, so you get to have the information that you desire at your fingertips. And then I'm going to consider making a video about all the funding availabilities that the Nigerian government have. I'll look through it, and then maybe I'll make a video on it. Maybe next time when you come to my, that's why you need to subscribe, so that when that video drops, you will also know that these are the funding opportunities that the government have for you, and probably you might exploit. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you were able to get to this end, and if you got to this end of the program, I want to say thank you. You are the reason why I keep making this video every other week. And please don't forget, subscribe, and see you next week.